Hi, welcome to Your Dental Besties. He's Ben.
She's Claire.
And this is a podcast about all things dental. Or maybe not so much.
Not so much dental.
Not so much.
Especially not today.
Not
what
today.
we're talking about.
Side hustles.
Side hustles.
Side hustles. Oh, it's so important. It's so important to have a side project or a side like extracurricular activity. I think it's really important. But a proper side hustle. What do you think defines a side hustle?
Well, something that is different to your chosen profession that you... I don't want to say you make money off it because it doesn't always have to be monetary.
No.
But it's just something else that you do alongside your real job or your working job. I don't say real job either because they're all jobs, but
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Bit of a side hustle. Before we go into that, I like to tease you and test you.
Oh no, what we're doing?
Acronym game.
Oh,
it's only short. It's only short because I feel like you want to talk about Pilates for like 35 minutes today.
Okay. The full podcast all about Pilates.
Okay, so what are these acronyms? And if you're at home listening, you have to shout this out loud in your car.
Yeah.
If you know the answer,
or in the kitchen,
shout it out.
or wherever you are.
Or if you're in the gym, shout it out. Okay. Or maybe not. Yeah, if you're in the gym, it might be a bit weird. Just be like, FGC.
Full goal cramp.
Yeah, I was going to say, you can't be in the gym going, full goal cramp.
I know that one.
Okay, FC. Okay, this is a good one. VCG.
Verbal consent game.
Oh, ding. You're very good at this. BW. Bravo Whiskey.
Bite wing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
BOB.
Oh, is that bleeding on brushing?
It is.
I don't like that one.
Why?
Because that's just dumb.
Because most people have it.
Why would you say BOB? Why would you not just take a bleeding score and say that I had gingivitis?
Oh, so I would never. BOB is never my personal kind of like part of my assessment. But like what I always do now. So I learned this from like Dental Protection, I believe. Actually, no, I didn't. I learned it from a colleague who'd learned it from Dental Protection, and they said that to make your notes stand up even more, because obviously a lot of people use templates.
Yeah.
You should do like a patient comment section. Actually, this is quite a little nugget of information.
Patient comment.
Yeah, so it's like something specific. So it shows that it's not a template. So if you put like patient comments and then in like, just knocked the microphone, in like the bubbles, like it's a comment, I would write patient says they get BOB, because I use acronyms.
But surely when
constantly.
you do your social history and you're like, patients just come back from an all-inclusive holiday in Crete, is that not patient specific?
Yeah, I think it is, but they said if it's actually written as if they've said it.
Oh, like what is the patient complaining of? And
Yeah.
the patient complaining of.
Yeah, you could write like
patient's gonna be like, I've got Bob.
But it was, I mean, I'm not saying it as they said it because I doubt they're going to go, yeah,
I'm
terrible
bobbing
Bob.
in the bathroom every night.
Terrible Bob. It's just terrible.
My Bob is out of control.
My Bob is horrendous. Bob, bad. No, but their advice, so Dental Protection's advice was have something that is like what the patient says. So I would only ever use BOB in that context. But then I guess the patient hasn't said that. So I do use acronyms a lot.
I use acronyms a lot. Look, we've got so much notes to write, you have to. Even like SH, social history, like all of those things, we'll have to use them. Otherwise, we'd be on forever writing our notes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not a fan of Bob. One that I really don't like is when I see IDB.
Right.
Patients using IDB, and I'm like, IDB in my head
Inferior
is
dental block.
Inferior dental block.
They're using an IDB.
Interdental brush.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
just write BB. Bottle brush.
Oh, do you?
Why? What do you write?
Icon or TP.
Oh, so you write the brand.
Yeah.
Which is
Because
probably
you want to know the
important.
brand.
Yeah,
because
no, it's true.
they might use a yellow one from Home Bargains and they might use a pink one from Boots. And so you want to know, it's more the size, but if you know the brand, then you can find the size.
Yeah, I write BB. Yeah,
No.
IDB. Yeah, but my IDB, my brain goes like they're giving themselves a what every day?
A Bob?
Bobbin and IDBs. PBC. Papa Bravo Charlie.
Oh God, I'm thinking back like 17 years to my dental nursing days. Porcelain bonded crown.
Yeah. Yes, Queen. CAL.
Clinical attachment loss.
Yeah, but it's either clinical attachment loss or clinical attachment level. I would say loss.
I'd say loss.
Yeah, I say loss. OPT.
Is this a cross between OPG and DPT?
Okay, I thought it was so you got OPT, OPG, and yeah, you've got DP.
Because it's dentopantomograph or oral.
Orthopantomograph.
Yeah, that thing.
Orthopantomatography.
Yeah, so an OPT, is that like a cross between the two?
OPT, OPG, same thing.
DPT, OPG, OPT, all the same thing?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Oh, we think.
Do you have a big X-ray or a little X-ray?
Big or small? NSPT.
Oh, do we still use that term, Claire Louise?
NSPT?
Non-surgical periodontal therapy. I thought it was sub-PMPR.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. See where you're going with that. I was thinking you meant
Get
RSD.
out the Victorian days.
No, I'm like, yeah, so I thought you meant we don't use RSD, so I thought you were mistaking RSD. Okay, yeah. Back in the days of root plane RSD.
Yeah,
I'm back that. Never joking.
We'll never do that.
TGIF.
Thank God it's Friday. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, right, okay,
I was trying to catch you out.
Do you write that in your notes?
No. Yeah, every Friday.
TGIF.
TGIF. PMPR.
Professional mechanical plaque
Because I do know it.
Because I know it. Study it.
Because I do know it. You got 10 out of 10 or whatever it was. 100%. 100% BOB.
100% I've ever got. Yeah.
100%
BOB. Bobbing.
So, tell me about Pilates. I'll shut my mouth now.
Side hustle. So, do you know what, right? I've worked in practice a lot. I was working 5-6 days a week at one point, clinical, so just back-to-back hygiene. I got into teaching, so I did my master's, then I got into teaching, and I loved it. I still do love it. I love the profession, I love everything that it's about, but I had no time for myself.
Yeah.
And I didn't ever dedicate any time for myself, even if that was going for a walk. Yeah. It was always like work and then like add chores like around the house that you have to do. And then you prepare on Sunday afternoon for work the following week. And it was just like relentless. So obviously COVID happened and then I was like, I just need to get fit. Like I hate going to the gym. I find it really boring.
Yeah.
I don't like going running. I was like, I need something to do. So I started yoga. Loved yoga. Went after work and I was like, yes, that's great. But I'm not very good at like this mindful, like going in on myself.
Okay.
So I was like, I need something else. My yoga instructor was leaving and she was opening up a Pilates studio.
Yeah.
So I'd never done Pilates before, but I loved her as a yoga teacher. So she's now my boss. Yeah. And she opened up Reformer and I started going to Reformer class.
That's popular.
Oh, it's massive now. It is really, really massive.
Yeah.
It's all over Instagram, especially my, obviously Pilates Instagram because of algorithms, but it's huge, huge, huge. And so I went and I loved it. It was a workout. It was fun. It was dynamic. It kind of flowed. It was set time. So it was like an hour. And I'd also started personal training.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so I personal train. And
what, like gym stuff?
It's a gym. So it worked out really well because the personal training studio where I go to, above there, they've got a loft. And that's where Alex, my boss, had rented the studio. So she obviously has her reformers in there.
Yeah.
So it's like a one-stop shop for me. I spent like half my life in there. But started personal training, started doing Pilates, and I was like, this is brilliant. And Alex had done a masterclass. And it was like 2 hours long. It was a bit about the history of Pilates, why it's good for you, postural analysis, and we'd done some workouts on the reformers. And I was like, this is definitely like, I love this. Like I need to learn more. So I was thinking like, what else could I do? Is there any courses that I could go on? Obviously CPD in my head. I was like, I need to go on a course to learn more. And then it kept on coming up with the training and I was like, I'm not sure if I could teach. Like, I just want to know more about it. So I thought I'll go on the course. So I did my mat training first. I will say the level of anatomy is like insane.
Yeah.
Like we have to know so much anatomy on par with degree level. And obviously all of the repertoire, all of the modifications. And I loved it. And I was like,
I suppose that's a really easy transition as well because you had to know so much anatomy for your job.
Well, everyone kept on saying you'll be fine, you know it. And I'm like, guys, I know the neck up, not the neck down. Like, we don't know the legs and we don't know the feet. Like, help me out here.
Yeah.
So I done that, and I was like, I'm not going to teach it. I just wanted to know more about it. And I'd already booked my reformer course because they said do mat before you do reformer. I was like, fine, okay. So I waited, and then a job came up in a gym in Oxford, and they were like wanting a Pilates mat instructor. So I was like, I'll do that. So teach that on Friday mornings and Sunday mornings. And then I done my training in March, and then Alex was like, oh, would you be interested in maybe like doing a session here or doing some cover? And I was like, 100%. It's a beautiful studio, like really good high-end equipment. All the clients are really, really lovely. So then I just got into it. Now I teach like all day, well, not all day, but like all morning on Sundays. I do like Thursdays, do some cover classes. But do you know what? Like, even though I wasn't in the whole mindful movement when I was in yoga, that for me is my mindful movement. I'm doing something different. Like, it's physically demanding, mentally it's demanding as well, because you obviously have to manage 8 people. And it's just something different from dentistry. I'm using different parts of my brain.
Yeah.
And I could see myself on a trajectory where I was going to burn out had I carried on doing 5-6 days clinical.
Yeah.
And it isn't about the money or anything like that. It was just about, I just want to do something for myself.
Yeah.
That is a little bit different. And obviously I love my job. I still do teeth. I still teach. But Pilates gives me access to working out and doing just something different.
Sounds like the dream.
People from different walks of life.
I'm sold.
So yeah,
I'm starting my course next week.
Honestly, it's a brilliant workout, and I absolutely love it.
But now you're a Pilates instructor. So Ben being Ben, doesn't do things by halves.
Nope.
I remember you actually took time off work to do your courses, because I remember it was like intense, wasn't it, for like a few weeks?
So my mat, I took 2 weeks off work. That was like my annual leave, and I'd done my training, which was hard. And then I thought, okay, if I want to do my reformer, I'll do it on Friday, Saturday, Sundays, and I think it's 5 weeks. But what I didn't realize is, well, I was at work for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then I trained Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So for 5 weeks, I was exhausted.
I can kind of remember that time. I think you went off the grid.
Yeah,
kind of went missing.
Incognito.
Yeah.
I didn't have any time.
And then you came back, Pilates instructor to the stars. Like, you teach celebrities.
Yeah, there are celebrities that go to the studio. Obviously, patient confidentiality.
Yeah.
But it's a beautiful space.
Yeah.
And I think she's done it really nice. And Christoph, who owns the gym, it's just a really, really nice vibe. It's more of a community. I think that's something that they both felt quite strongly about.
Yeah.
And obviously we do in dentistry.
Yeah.
That community feeling like you're part of something, you're not just going for a class.
Yeah.
All the skills I learned in dentistry, like, it's almost like hospitality. It's how you manage and how you kind of, what product you're selling, essentially, whether it's monetary or just you as a person.
What makes you a different Pilates studio?
You different, yeah. It is just getting like the nice scents in there. It is just like, making everyone feel comfortable, welcoming them, and yes, kind of skills that I've taken from dentistry across.
Yeah. And I love that. It's almost like you did it with no monetary, like, you didn't want monetary gain.
I
it
had
just
no
turns
intention.
Out.
No intention of kind of making another career path out of it. I just wanted to know more, and I think that's just me. I just like to know. I was always the why kid. Do you know, like kid walking around the supermarket?
I'm the why kid.
The mum's like,
yeah.
but why? Yeah. And then the mum's like, just shut up. Like, if you ask the question about 10 times, I'm like, yeah, but why? Like, I want to understand everything.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think it's absolutely fantastic. And like I say, you've almost made it into, I know you'll never step out of dentistry, because you're like me, like, never take that foot out of the pond.
I've worked damn hard to get where I am, so I'd never leave it.
You'll never leave it. What's your ratio now then?
So I'm 2 days at the Eastman.
Okay.
I do 1 long clinical day. Obviously doing stuff for EMS, I do stuff for Listerine, and then teach Pilates alongside of it. So multiple,
It's varied then.
Yeah.
Very varied.
4 or 5 different Pilates studios. So
I wouldn't know which one I'm at which day.
Calendars.
Yeah, like
yeah, it's a lot. It is a lot, but it's fun. The weeks are just flying by.
Yeah.
And yeah, I absolutely love it.
You can tell that you really love it. You just love any chance to talk about it. And you've inspired me because like I've mentioned in previous podcasts, like I've suffered with my back. So I know yoga is something that I really need to take up, like the stretching and everything. But I like the idea of Pilates. The gym that I go to doesn't offer it. So I know it's something I'd have to seek out and go in. Up north, there's not as much as down south, I don't feel. It'll get there. Just give it time.
I definitely think it will get there.
I'm like you though. I'm like, do I go on a course? Like I learned about breathing techniques the other day. I listened to a podcast. Next thing you know, I'm buying a Wim Hof blinking like course.
Breath is so important.
It's so important.
We don't realize we don't breathe. I think we just breathe enough to kind of get us through the next breath.
Autopilot breathing. Yeah.
But you don't actually focus on your breath. And when you do, you're like, oh my God, I didn't know I had lungs down there.
Yeah. That's how I feel them.
Yeah, that's how I feel them. What are you doing? Like, you've got loads of hustles going on.
So, well, in terms of like extracurricular activities that I don't get paid for, I recently, I've just quit this, but I was playing football, as you know. Yeah. So we were just saying, side hustle doesn't have to pay. I wasn't good enough to get paid to play football, but I quit that this season because I'm also 38. And I was the oldest on the team by quite a margin. So even though I consider myself quite fit for 38, I can't do that forever. My ankles, knees, everything. I've been waking up, like I was spending the week getting over the Sunday game and then like,
ready for the Sunday.
Yeah. I like running. That's a really big thing for me. I really like running, but I do really fancy taking up yoga and Pilates because you've really inspired me. So that's something that I will be sort of doing. But I'm like you, I can't just go, I'll go to a Pilates class. Like I'll have to learn. Like I go to a class. I went to hot yoga not long ago, and I was like researching how to become a hot yoga teacher. Like I can't just do something.
Did you feel good after hot yoga?
When I first went in, I felt a little bit sick.
Yeah.
But then by the end, I love sweating. So I think if you feel comfortable in the uncomfortable, which I do, you know, being in the army, I've done a lot of like marathons, triathlons, Ironmen and stuff like that. So I just made out that I've done a lot of Ironmen. I haven't. I've done one Ironman. But I'm very comfortable in the uncomfortable. So even though when I first went in, I thought this makes me feel sick, you embrace it, sweat your bum off, and then you're like, yeah, it's great.
I'd done it. I went home, I think it was last year or the year before, and I went home for a week, and where I'm from, it's just a small little town. And I don't think they had Pilates, so I was like, oh, I need something to do. So they had a hot pod yoga studio.
Yeah.
And first day, like done a class, great, okay, I loved it. Next day, done a class, great, okay. But I was doing them like every day. It got to like my fourth or fifth one. I was like a prune. I was like, I can't drink enough water for the rest of the 24 hours before I go back in.
Yeah.
So I think it's really good for like 1 or 2 times a week, but because it kind of increases your muscle elasticity, which is why it's really good for you. But I couldn't do it every day.
No. I'd be dehydrating. In terms of like other side hustles, obviously I'm due to have a lot more time. I've just left my current practice, not through any reason other than to grow and to work on some pursuits I've got going on. So I've got a bit of a business idea that I'm working on. I won't say too much about that because it's just growing at the moment. Yeah. I've already got 2 practices that kind of quite, want to work with me for that. So that's really great news. Obviously, we're going to have the courses starting next year, so that's going to take up a lot of our time because you have to write them and the organisation for all of that. Obviously, the podcast. And but you know me, I always have like little...
There's always something going on.
I have an idea. My brain is constantly working. And I'm constantly thinking of like the next business idea. I can't help myself. Like, it's just...
I think the courses will be really good. Obviously, they're going to be really good content, but... we are going around the country.
We're doing a road show.
Yeah, so it's not just going to be in London, so all you northern hygienists.
No, it's going to be from Cornwall to Lincoln, Scotland.
To Ireland. Yes. We're going all around the country, aren't we?
And it's the full year. So that's really exciting. That's going to take up a lot of my time. But in terms of a side hustle that I like the idea of, I love mindfulness. It's not. Yeah. It's something that I looked into doing courses in when I have time, which I will have soon. But the whole breathing and the Wim Hof technique and everything like that, cold water therapy, I think we have a very stressful job. And I think getting a side hustle or a side project or a side, I don't know, like extracurricular activity that allows you to just unwind, reset. Absolutely. I think it's
so tightly wound by the end of the day. I think having something like breath work, like Pilates, like yoga, where it's almost complementary to what you're doing. Like my long days on Wednesdays are hard on my body, but I know on Thursdays I'm going to be teaching Pilates.
Yeah.
I'll probably be able to squeeze a class in. I might go to PT as well. So it kind of counteracts it, and I'm doing something that I enjoy.
Yeah.
So finding something I mean, mental health's a huge thing in our profession at the minute.
Yep.
Everyone's struggling, so variation.
Variation is key. And I think that's why we probably are so satisfied with our job, because, you know, like you say, we work with different brands, we work with different companies, all people that we advocated before. So it's all been organic, just to point that out. We don't just work with people.
Well, yeah, 100%. It's not just a case of working with anyone. You have to really kind of believe in it. Because it's a lot of work, actually, to be fair. I think people don't realise how much work goes into when we're doing this extracurricular stuff or this extra stuff. But then that allows a variation. I think variation is key. Yeah,
it really is.
absolutely.
So we talked about Pilates, we talked about a few different things there. If people are listening to this and they're like, well, but what side hustles could they maybe look at? Because it's not all just the ones that we like. There are so many. Have you heard of anyone else's side hustles?
What are your hobbies? Like, what do you enjoy doing? Yeah.
I love the idea of PT. I'd love the idea of getting paid to be outside. Do you know what I'd love? Dog walker.
Oh my God,
I would love that. Dog
in the
walker.
Summer,
yeah.
Like dog walker.
I like anyone.
Dog walker from May till October.
Yeah.
And you can walk it yourself.
Yeah.
But if you want to go on holiday, dog sitter.
Yeah. Just to be around puppies. I don't want to be around puppies.
One of a nurse I used to work with, she started making earrings. And it's just like an element of her creativity that she's able to express. It's her own thing. Like just little things.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be a massive thing. You're not going to kind of take over your life with one thing with another. But just add in something that you feel passionate about.
Yeah. And then if you're passionate about something, it grows organically anyway.
It work, yeah.
Because I mean, if you're a dog walker, you love dogs and you're like so good at being a dog walker that you know how to do little things like trim their hair and going into grooming, or like doing, I don't know a lot about dog walking clearly, but like chipping their nails or whatever. I don't have a dog.
Neither do I.
I just like them. Eventually, just through doing it because you love it, and it's something to take up your time, maybe a little side hustle on top of your dental, or replace one dental day a week with dog walking. Next thing you know, you're passionate about it, it grows, you're a full-time dog walker, loving your job.
Or you could just be a hygienist. I said just.
You just went against everything we said in episode 2.
You could be a hygienist or a therapist who likes to walk dogs.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to change your career just because you enjoy doing it as a hobby or a side
There is a guy near me, he went on one of my courses recently. He's called the Dental Athlete. He's a runner and he does courses for like runners, so you can learn how to be a better runner. Do you know what? Really reasonable prices, because I inquired about it for a friend of mine who's non-dental. She was asking, I was like, oh, so again, word of mouth and people it's always really good. And so his thing is he loves running. He's very good at it. And so his side hustle is that he teaches people, not in dentistry, outside of dentistry, how to run, what to buy, I guess, how to be good on the track, what they need to eat. I don't know what he does for the money, but it was a really reasonable price. But he does it because he loves it, and you can tell he loves it.
Love it. You've got to do something that you're going to kind of wake up and think, I am excited to go and do this.
Because we all want to stay hygienists, but maybe 3-day hygiene, 2 days, something we love.
I'm excited in the morning on Wednesday now.
Because
I can't wait to get in. I'm going to see all my patients. I'm going to see the team.
Yes, you're fired up.
I'm fired up, yeah.
You're not dreading Monday morning.
If it was like 10 days in a week, I'd do more clinical days. But I just can't cut myself in that many different pieces. Yeah,
but the thing is that when you come to doing it because you've got the side hustle, you love it. I think that's a really, really great thing. I think that's what helps me because of the variation. I think I got to a point where I was doing 4 or 5 days a week, rammed.
Too much. You don't have any time for yourself.
Well, I got to a point where I ended up leaving that practice. And I mean, it gives me time now. I burnt the boats to take the island because I've got projects I want to work on. But it allows me time now to work on any little side hustles that I want to sort of bring in. And hopefully, and hopefully when I am working clinical, it means that I'm going to be like fired up for clinical.
You will.
Because I love being a hygienist. I think you just need to
take a step back sometimes.
Take a step. Interesting. So I'm going to be a Pilates instructor in the next 6 months.
Yay!
We're going to be both
dental Pilates.
Dental Pilates.
Your dental Pilates instructor.
We're your dental besties and your dental Pilates. Well, we hope that you found this episode interesting. Hopefully it's made you think a little bit about Pilates or just bringing in a side hustle. It doesn't have to pay, but it can be something that you just enjoy doing that fires you up to just be like, yeah, I'm ready to get into clinic now and into surgery and do the hygiene thing. If you like this episode, please like, comment, subscribe, share. Send us in your questions. Send us in what side hustles are you doing?
Yeah, what side hustles?
We could do a side hustle part 2.
Yeah.
With actual what people are doing.
Idea, side hustle part 2.
We'll do a side hustle part 2. Tell us what your side hustle is so we can tell everyone about it and how much you love it. They could love it and inspire other people. So yeah. I guess that's another one done.
Yeah. Thank you for listening.
Bye.